Hey, hi, hello, and welcome to the Ace Trainers podcast. I am Aaron, and this is...
I'm Tom.
That's Tom. And today, we will be talking about, on the very first official episode of the podcast, the newest Pokemon games, which is Scarlet and Violet. But before we get into any of that...
I wonder if we could give our listeners a name, because they're going to know how we're the Ace Trainers.
Okay.
I was Pokefans. Is that still a trainer class? I remember that used to be a trainer class.
Pokefans?
Yeah, don't you remember the Pokefans?
Yeah,
The ones that dressed up in a Charizard costume and
Were they the parents that had the kids?
Yeah. They don't exist anymore, do they?
I don't think so. I think they still have the nerds in the games, don't they? And they
Super
have really
nerds.
They have really cool jackets.
They're the people that don't subscribe to the podcast after they listen.
Yeah, they listen to 10 seconds.
If you listen to this podcast and then you move on, you're a super nerd. But if you stick around, maybe you could be an Ace Trainer. But for now, you're just a poker fan.
Yeah, you just have to get on with life.
We get the Ace Trainer status immediately because we came up with it.
With a cool, this is our thing.
Anyway, man, I am deep into Scarlet and Violet right now.
Finally, because if you listen to the last episode, Tom had not seen anything.
It was weird. It was so weird going in.
Was it a nice experience delving into the game properly and then...
Yeah, it was great, actually. If I had the willpower to do this again, I would do it again. But
you don't.
I'm not gonna. Although the one thing I'm refusing to look at the moment, I don't want to spoil anything. I'm just going to say 2 words and then you'll kind of get what I'm on about.
Okay.
I'm still avoiding iron treads.
Okay.
Etc. Etc. Etc.
Okay.
I know there's more. But yeah, everything else has kind of already been spoiled for me now, except for some legendaries. I think I've seen pretty much the whole Pokedex now.
Oh, this is what. So we're not going to be discussing any story spoilers.
No, we're keeping this all as clean as possible.
The only thing we'll be talking about is the because if you've played the game at this point or you're interested in Pokemon, you would have probably bought the game and you probably have seen Pokemon that's in the game. There's a lot of them, so we'll talk about all the ones apart from the. I feel like Paradox Pokemon.
I feel like if I've seen them, it's probably safe to talk about at this point because I'm still trying to stay spoiler free. I've seen a few, but
so we'll be talking general Pokedex stuff. Obviously, we can't spoil every single Pokemon that we've seen in the game that will be in the game, but we will be talking general Pokemon stuff. And so don't worry if you've not gotten to the end. I'm not going to be here's a massive spoiler. Oh my god, I cannot talk to that.
We'll call it the spoiler cast when we talk about the spoilers. We'll make a separate episode where we just go over everything.
Yeah,
when
so
we're ready.
We'll probably give a few weeks, and then we'll go deeper into the spoilers of the story.
I'm excited, but yeah, I've had a really nice week though. I had most of this week off work, just playing Pokemon, and it's been really nice just to sit and it
feels
like
an
event
again.
Yeah, and I've just been eating nothing but pizza, and it's been dreadful, but it was nice because I put my Christmas decorations up. It feels Christmassy around here.
Kaylee is doing that currently.
I thought she already had them up. If I'm honest,
I got home today and she had the Christmas skirt around her neck. She was putting the tree up. She said that she's organised something from Amazon to turn up soon. So I was like, oh, good, it started now. So,
it's begun. Yeah,
she had Christmas music playing. As of recording, by the way, it's the 25th of November. I'll allow it because it's a month away
that's
from
a month
Christmas.
Away.
So I'll allow it. Normally, I'm a 1st of December kind of guy, and that's when things go up, but...
I like mid-November. Let's just get this party started.
Okay.
I like it. I mean, Freya doesn't, but I do. I made it happen.
I feel when is your starting period of fuck it, it's Christmas start, and then you start eating whatever you want. You see a tub of heroes and you're like, fuck it, it's nearly Christmas, and you're just eating it.
Probably from about now, yeah.
Yeah.
I'd say.
I promised myself that from now until after we come back from Japan is going to be just full fuck it season. And just
enjoy yourself.
Eat whatever, and then I'll come back from Japan and just be like, right, now I'm going to go start working out.
Turn the adult brain back on.
Start working out again properly and just enjoy it up until then.
So, do you want to talk about some news?
Well,
have you got some news? I got a couple of things I wanted to talk about. They are quite time sensitive. I'm hoping to get this out by the end of this week.
Okay.
So,
well, then that gives you incentive to edit it.
Exactly. So, currently this weekend there's a Terra Raid battle event going on in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. From today, EVs. Friday the 25th till the 27th, you can get EVs that have various different Terra types. Is that the word? Yeah.
Yes.
Pterotypes that are coming out. Yeah, so you can get those. I already did a few today. I found a flying type one, so I'm like, okay, that's going to be a Jolteon.
With his little balloon hat.
Yeah, so I evolved that into a Jolteon, and then every time I go up against a ground type, I just flick to flying, and then...
True. Fuck some shit up.
Yeah, well, you just, circumvent some weakness.
I can't wait to talk about, like, Pterotypes and everything.
We'll get into it.
The only other thing that happened was, like, well, not the only other thing that happened, but Ash is now is he a world champion?
I think so. I've not seen it yet, but...
Okay.
Yeah, as far as I know.
Well, finally, our boy did something of use. Rather than just lose every fight he's ever been in.
I was amazed they let him get that far, though. Like, I didn't think that would happen. Right?
No?
No.
Well, I think he, I haven't watched the anime for a long time, whereas I feel like
I watch it.
You have. So
I'm not like an active, like, weekly watcher, but, like, yeah, I like it.
He has a pretty good team from the look of it. I'm just looking at the picture now.
Yeah, he's got some good Pokemon.
He actually has a decent team. Surprisingly, he only has two Pokemon from Galar? Yes.
Yeah, he's got Dracovish and... Surfetch'd, yeah.
So that's the only... Which is, I thought, was surprising, because I thought they...
Well, the whole series, it's like... It's not just about Galar, this new series. It's kind of everywhere. He travels around the whole Pokemon world and, like, does things. It's like It's very episodic. They just kind of... One episode's self-contained. Yeah. Usually they go to a place, they do something, and they come back.
Did he fight all of the... You haven't seen it yet, so you
No,
don't know.
so I don't know. Yeah.
That's fair enough. But I saw that they've... Speaking of the anime, I saw that they've teased, like, a new anime project or something.
Okay. I've not seen anything about this.
It's just a picture that they've uploaded. I think it was on Twitter or Instagram or something. And that's interesting. Who knows what it'll be about, but I think there was talks of them not having Ash in it anymore.
No.
But I don't think that will...
As much as I'd like to see them be that brave, I don't think they ever will.
Well, they tried doing that with... What was it? The Gold and Silver... anime. There was one which had... I can't remember his name now. Yeah, the Gold and Silver protagonist.
Oh, that's the Pokemon Chronicles series.
Yeah. Because they did that, and I think at that time they were like, well, we'll try and see what happens, and it just didn't. It didn't do anything, so...
No, I think I'd like to see some kind of, like, different...
Offshoot things.
Yeah, something new, but... I mean, Ash just does too well for the franchise at this point. Like,
well, it's something that everybody can look at and go, that is Pokemon.
It's familiar. Like, yeah. People that are our age now that have kids and stuff, like, their kids are watching Pokemon and they still recognise it because it's the show they watched when they were kids.
I think this is the ideal thing for Pokemon, is I was having this discussion the other day, is that it releases a new generation every, year? So they've done a very clever job, Game Freak, of being like, well, new kids every year play the game.
Yeah, for sure.
It's very smart.
Well, yeah. The only other news I had was the Urshifu is going to be in Pokemon Unite from the 1st of December.
Oh.
I haven't played Pokemon Unite for a couple of months. I got really into it earlier this year.
A couple of months ago, you were like...
Freya and I played it all the time for a few months ago, for like probably 2 months straight. It was really... Yeah, we went hard on that, but like it just wore off the novelty really quick after a while.
Yeah, I think the problem with those sort of games is because they're mobile based, isn't it? It's one of those things you're like, right, play it, and then it's a really sharp drop off once you haven't played it for like 2 days. So I was playing Marvel Snap for like every day for at least like since it came out, and then I've not played it for like a couple of days. I'm like, I can't be bothered now. No incentive to go back onto it.
For sure. Yeah, I get that.
Because no end game, I think, is the problem with a lot of these things struggle with. It's the same thing.
It's the gameplay loop, as long as you can find new ways to make that fun for you. But once you've done it a lot, like we must have done hundreds of fights on it, and we were like, just kind of like, okay, let's take a break. Like, we'll come back to that.
I downloaded it on the Switch recently, but I haven't played it.
I think it's a good pick up and put down kind of game. Like, I'll leave it alone for 6 more months, and then I'll probably pick it up again. I'll be like, wow, look at all this cool stuff, and then get right back into it again.
I'm just going to be so bogged down with other games, like, from now until probably Christmas.
The other thing, it's not, well, I guess it's half news, but there was a book brought out about a month ago. I found out from another podcast. They had the author on their podcast.
Yeah.
A guy called Daniel Dockery made a book called Monster Kids. It's really cool. It's it's called Monster Kids. There's an audiobook as well, which is what I listened to it with, and it's voiced by Veronica Taylor, who is the original Ash voice. And it's just a really good non-fiction book about Pokemon, and like also touches on Digimon, Yu-Gi-Oh, like all this sort of stuff around that same era that influenced people really today. Cool. And Monster Kids, is what they call the people that got into these kind of monster collecting franchises and like really got behind them. It's really interesting.
Well, it's because I was looking for a book the other day when I went to Forbidden Planet, which was I love having art books.
Yeah.
I was trying to find the original Shigemori. It's like, I think they released one recently. I think it might be only in Japan at the moment, but it's like a full Pokemon art book with the original Shigemori art, and
that's cool.
It looks great, but I was like, I couldn't find it anywhere, so I was gonna eventually try on Amazon, pick it up. Maybe it'll be a pre-Christmas. I don't know if you do this, but when you're ordering Christmas presents, you're like, well, if I'm ordering stuff, I'm spending money.
You gotta spend something on yourself.
Yeah, I'm gonna buy this for me.
I am the same. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know any other news. I'm sure we'll try to talk about as much news as we can do.
I think, yeah, we just like touch on the good stuff, like the stuff that's exciting. Like we'll talk about all the fun stuff.
The good kush. Oh yeah, because a new set of cards came out recently as well, didn't it? Silver Tempest.
I think so. I don't really follow the TCG. We need to get like a TCG guy on here.
Yeah. Well, my brother plays it and he knows enough about it, so maybe at some point we can get him in and he can tell us about that. Or we can beg one of the very famous people that we know on YouTube.
We could ask around. So anyway, I want to talk about Scarlet and Violet today.
Yeah, we'll get
because I've been wanting to talk about it for so long, and now I can finally talk about it. And I'm like, oh my god,
it's such a relief.
It's like I finally have it. It's here in my hands. Like, actually, it came on Friday, and then I had to go away, and I was away for the whole weekend. And I just like Freya was taking pictures of like the boxes it was inside, like the insides, the cartridges. Like she was like, "Here you go."
You were like, "That's enough for now. Yeah. I can't wait to come home."
So yeah, I got back and I played it, and my first impressions were great, like really strong. I was really enjoying it. My overall impressions are generally good.
Yeah, this is what I was saying to a couple of friends the other day. Is that if it didn't have some of the issues in it that are very minor, but it does make a difference, then I feel like it would be the perfect like Pokemon game.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how to get into it properly. Like, people were complaining about bugs, and I genuinely have had none. I've had maybe like a game crash once or twice.
Right.
But that's no different to any other game that I've played on, if I'm honest. Every game I've played on the Switch has crashed at least once or twice. Like,
yeah.
But I've enjoyed playing it. There's a few nitpicky things, like I wish the graphics would be maybe a tiny bit better. Yeah. It's not an ugly game by any means, but I've seen what the Switch can do in other games, I guess, and it's, again, not the most powerful console, but it can definitely do a little bit better than... Like you were saying the other day, it's the biggest game franchise in the world.
Yeah.
Like, media franchise in the world. They can put a little bit more, like, time
and I know that, like, the money doesn't funnel directly into the games, but, like...
That's the main source of it, I would say.
Apparently the plushies are.
Oh, yeah. That's
Imagine that.
Yeah, selling the... And it's all going to come from me when I go to Japan. Oh. So...
Thing is, the games do bring in a lot of revenue, and they're a huge part of the whole experience.
Yeah.
And, like, yes, they are good, but I feel like I might get hate for saying this, but I feel like Pokemon is being held back by Game Freak at this point.
Yeah, it is.
And I don't think there's anything wrong with what Game Freak are doing. I just think they could do with help. I feel like they should outsource more. They should get some help from some bigger companies that can really push this thing forward.
I think, because I've read somewhere that they're split into two sides of development. One making one game, and then one making, like, the next game.
Sure, so someone's always working on the future game at a time.
So I think Scarlet and Violet were probably being made...
as soon as Sword and Shield wrap up, I reckon.
Yeah, and then someone was making Arceus, but then again, you split into someone was making...
Gen 10 now.
It's probably most of the way through Gen 10 at this point. Like, discussions and stuff probably, but... The art direction in this as well, you can tell. Like, this is one thing I did want to say to you last week.
Yeah.
You can tell with the art direction, like the character designs in this one, it feels different.
Yeah.
As someone who, as an artist, you can tell when you go, oh, this looks like it seems to have swayed more towards a lot more cartoony, bubbly, like Pokemon, rather than some of the ones we've had in the past.
What I will say, though, is I think that it's actually a step up graphically from Legends Arceus.
Oh, yeah, not that I dislike how the game, like I said, the game looks, but it's one of those things where I feel like, because I know James Turner, I think his name is, was the art and he designed a lot of the art for it, and a lot of the characters, and a lot of the Pokemon.
Yeah.
And he left just before this game, and he started his own game company.
Mm-hmm.
Think of that as what you will.
Yeah.
But like I don't know if he designed any of the new Pokemon or what, but he so he left, and then so obviously the character designers they've gone a different direction. But I don't know. There was some Pokemon in this that I did look at, and I was like, I don't know if I like that. I have a few which I dislike greatly, and there's some which I really like.
Yeah, it's a mixed bag. I think there's some that I hate, but I don't hate the Pokemon, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
My instant reaction is ugh, but it's not like a horrible ugh. It's like that's not a Pokemon that I instantly love, but it's still a Pokemon to me. I can still, I don't feel like disconnected from it. It feels very connected to the world, and I feel good about it, but I just don't like it. And I feel like that's kind of part of what they want you to think as well. Like Garbodor kind of has the same thing.
See, there's some Pokemon which people do hate. I don't know. I feel like it really does come down to
personal taste.
Yeah. But I don't mind garbage bag.
I don't.
I like Vanillish a lot. Like I like people then say like Magneton's just free. I like Magneton a lot. Like I think Magneton and Magnemite in these games look amazing.
They're the best looking.
One thing that I have
Pokemon,
to give like props about this game is they've nailed the textures on all the Pokemon.
They have. They really have.
It's just a shame they didn't put that on anything else in the world.
I agree. But yeah, I noticed that as well. Like the fur on some Pokemon is like really like you can tell that it's in there. And
scales on things, and like the shine on certain things. But then you look at like you see a Pokemon there and it's all shiny and nice, and you look at the thing that's next to it and you're like, that's just like a texture that you get over the top of it. Yeah. Which
So I think my general feeling is really good towards it. I think the graphics are gorgeous. I like the colour because, like I was saying,
colours look good.
The Legends Arceus problem I had was that it felt too bleak. It felt very grey and brown. I think,
I think I liked that because it went for a different style. You could tell it was meant to look like it was painted.
Sure.
Like it was meant to look like it was watercolour and everything was. But this one does feel a lot more brighter and.
One of my favourite games of all time is Zelda Wind Waker, and it's for the same reason. It's that high contrast, cell shaded, really nice, colourful kind of. It makes me feel positive and happy, and like
it gives you something nice to look at when you're playing. Like Breath of the Wild has a very similar cell shaded.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it's like almost endorphin inducing. Like it kind of makes you just feel good just putting it in the world. Like
Borderlands as well is another one. Where it has that sort of comic book sort of style to it.
Yeah,
but like I said, I really like positive. I was more on the positive end of liking this game. There was just a few things that made me go like, I wish you didn't do that.
Yeah.
There's some Pokemon I really liked and some I really didn't. The ones I really liked were things like I really love Tinkaton.
I was about to say, before you tell me your favourite, let's say them at the same time.
Okay.
Do you know
I've done mine now.
You've said it, Tinkaton. Okay.
Yeah, I think Tinkaton is like my standout favourite.
I don't know if I've seen Tinkaton yet. I've seen Tinkertuff.
The big hammered one.
Yeah.
You saw my one.
I saw the middle one. Have I seen the last one?
You've seen the last one,
Okay, cool. I think they're okay. They're very pink.
They are very pink, and it's a shame that their shiny is they're pink, but with a brassier hammer.
Is that what it is?
That's what the shiny is.
They just found a better hammer.
Yeah.
Right?
But I don't know. I liked it. The only thing that bothers me about Tinkaton is its hands. Look a bit chunky and sausage-like. They're like Prince Charles hands.
I've not looked at it enough, but I'll have to have a check.
But who was yours? Okay. You didn't tell me the other day.
No, I wouldn't tell you because I said wait for the podcast. So Aaron came around the other day and we were trying to talk, and I was like, okay, but we're not talking about everything because I want some surprise. Yeah. So with me, some of my favourite Pokemon are kind of like gimmicky ones. I like Pokemon. Probably my two favourite Pokemon are Mimikyu and Ice-Q.
Yeah,
and they both have a very similar gimmick. There isn't a Pokemon like that in this generation, but there was a Pokemon that kind of fit that bill in a way for me that I thought you fit in with these two really nicely, and you're also the perfect little supporting buddy. Mousehold.
I knew it! So I even said to you, I was like, it's Mousehold, and you were like, no, it's not.
No. You said it's Tandemouse, and I said, no, it's not Tandemouse.
Then did you see the picture I put up on my story earlier?
I didn't, because I've been trying to avoid social media still, because every time I open it, I get threatened to be spoiled. Yeah.
Well, James Turner drew the little mouse family.
They are great.
So I don't know. They are really cute. I really like the design.
At first, when
them.
I saw Tandemaus, I wasn't too fussed. I thought, this is cute, but I didn't love it.
I think he's a grower.
Then I saw Mousehold, and I was like, wait, it's just Tandemaus with 2 little babies. And I was like, I kind of fucking love this thing.
I just like how they don't even evolve. They just sort of bang, and then they have.
Although mine did. I heard that they didn't evolve, but mine definitely had an evolution screen.
No, mine didn't. Mine didn't have an evolution. I was just hanging out, and I looked at my party. I was like, oh, there's 2 more.
Yeah, honestly, yeah, because that's what I heard, because I Googled it, because I was like, oh, how do you get 2 more babies? That sounds like it would be complicated. And it was like, oh, just level up. And then I leveled up, and it said, oh, it's evolving. And then it...
Oh, well, I didn't...
I know, I was a bit surprised, because I wasn't expecting that. I thought it was just going to be like all of a sudden there's 2.
Yeah. The other ones that I really liked in this gen, I have a really big soft spot now for fucking the dolphin superhero.
I like the dolphin.
I think he's great, and he was my first shiny that I found in this game. And I called it Twinkle, and she's just the best. She's just my hench superhero dolphin, just hanging out. And I don't know, there's a lot of designs in this game which don't feel very Pokemon-y.
Okay.
To me, like...
the one that I don't think feels very is Knackley and that line.
Oh,
they look like Minecraft.
Yeah. Sounds like a racial slur.
They're like Minecraft things. They're golems from Minecraft, aren't they?
Which they don't. When I saw intentional. The Knackle, the mushroom toad-looking guy, I thought it was going to evolve into like a Golurk.
I pictured like a colossal kind of.
Yeah. Scaling, they've done a good job in this game, actually, speaking of, like, golemy, if you know what I mean. Like, sure. I thought that they nailed the scale of Pokemon quite well in this game.
Yeah.
Other Pokemon I dislike is that stupid Kappa Kid. I hate that thing.
Oh, yeah, Capsicid. Yeah,
I hate that, and I hate the evolution of it, the stupid...
Scovillain.
Yeah.
It was my dream for over years now. I've been like, we need a chili pepper Pokemon that's fire and grass, and they did it, and I'm still disappointed. I think it's just the design, it's really ugly.
It is ugly, and I hate it.
It's not even so much that, like... No, it just doesn't feel right.
No, it just doesn't look and feel right. It does look very... I feel like it looks more Digimon-y than it looks...
It's jarring, yeah. And I'm sure they'll grow on me. There's a few Pokemon like that grow on you, I think, after a while, but...
Speaking of Pokemon that don't fucking grow on you, I hate Lechonk.
Do you?
Hot take. I cannot stand Lechonk. When everyone saw Lechonk, they were like, yeah, look at this pig. I hate it from the start, and I hate its evolution.
Oinkalone.
Yeah.
He's going to Oinkalone forever, yeah.
It's going to go through the Pokedex and see if anything...
Yeah,
pops off. I like the one thing that I do like about this game as well is the Pokedex looks like a nice little library.
Yeah,
I like the fact that it's like a nice, cute little photo.
Freya told me that was the thing that got her the most interested in the game by far, because it meant that she had something to work towards.
Yeah, and I like the cute little photos of them. Like, oh, you hate Spy Ops as well.
Yeah, I'm not keen. It's the thing; they don't feel not Pokemon to me. They just don't feel right. You know?
Yeah,
like. Yeah, there's just something not quite right about them.
There was a few Pokemon that, like I said, I just wanted to catch to see if I get a cute photo of.
I'm trying to think. I'm going through all my... I made copious amounts of notes when I first started playing this game because I just wrote everything down. Tauros being black was huge. I didn't understand what was going on there. Because you see that right at the beginning.
It was huge.
I just saw this thing at the beginning and I was like, why is it black? And it's cool. I like it a lot, actually. I found out something by accident yesterday that made me very excited, and I have no idea how you get it.
What's that?
Tauros has 2 different forms.
They're exclusive to different games.
What do you mean?
There's a fire and a
water one,
which are exclusive, and there's a fighting one as well.
So it's fighting as standard, because it's the black one is fighting. Yeah. But how do you get it to be a fire or water?
I have no clue. I feel you find them in the wild, I think.
That's really cool, because I didn't know that, because I just saw it as I searched it up on my app, and I was like, why is it like... Yeah.
There's
I'll tell you, though, when I first started out of the game, and I picked... I picked Sprigatito. Who did you pick?
Oh, I went with Quaxley, sadly.
You changed your mind about that one?
No, I like Quaxley, and I was like, I hope his evolutions don't suck. And sadly, I think that they do.
Yeah.
The only thing that I like about the reason why I went with Quaxley in the end was because I saw its final evolution, and I liked his sassy little dancing moves.
Right.
But I think, as I tend to do in Pokemon games is I had so many of one type.
Yeah.
And water is like the one that you'll probably end up having anyway as standard. So.
It's actually been the one I've been struggling to fill more than anything in this game.
Really?
Yeah, honestly, like I just can't find a nice, cool new water type that really strikes me.
As soon as I got the dolphin, I was like, well.
See, I did go for the dolphin. Then I realised you have one, and so did my friend, and you both had shinies. And I was like, well, there's no point in me competing with this now.
What's even the point?
I'll move along. So I've been messing around now trying to find something new. I haven't found one yet, basically.
There's I was trying to think of other Pokemon in this game that I've seen. Oh,
so
you hate the Diglett fella.
So yeah, when I first started out the game, my two favourites in my notes were, so far my favourites are Wiglet and Wooper were my favourites at the beginning of the game, and I was really excited. Wooper's adorable.
Palladium Wooper is like great, and I love Clodshire. Clodshire from the start was like, he was a heavy hitter from the start, and then he stayed in my team from day one.
I was disappointed, but not in a way that made me hate it or anything. It's not that I hated it, it's that I think
I was just disappointed.
Due to because I hadn't seen the Pokedex yet, my expectation was different to what I was going to get.
Yeah.
So I was expecting more of like a Mega Swampert level of...
so he was going to be a big
I thought he was going to be big and hench, and I thought he was going to look really badass. And then he turned into this derpy little like mudfish, and I was like, oh, I don't really know if I like this. And then I just took him out of the team. And then...
Got rid.
Wiglet was cool as hell. I really liked Wiglet. The first thing I did was opened up my party, and I had a Diglett in my party, and I opened it up and I went, what did you do? That's the first thing I did. And then caught it. It evolved.
Yeah.
Straight out off the team. Immediately sidelined.
What did you do? Stop.
Awful Pokemon.
It's not nice.
Oh, the Let's Go feature is absolutely genius, by the way.
I love sending a Pokemon out and it just running around.
At first, so I spent probably 4 hours before I even got to the school. I spent 4 hours just in that first town. And
surprisingly, a lot of people that I know who've played the game didn't even like go to the school. Like I was like, right, okay. And I ran around a bit, and don't get me wrong, I was like, I'm having fun. When I went past the lighthouse, I went right, and I fell down a waterfall. And then I went all the way around that area, and then looped around. And I was like, right, okay, I want to go to the school now, so it's done.
Yeah.
And then I can feel like I can explore more. But a lot of people I know didn't just go to the school. I know one guy who went to the tallest point of Paldea before he went to the school. Just sent me a picture being like, oh shit, I didn't go to school, man.
No, I didn't even enter Mesagoza.
Yeah.
Until 4 hours in at least. Yeah, I just spent 4 hours in that first little area, like just exploring, running around. There's a lot to see and a lot to do.
Yeah.
And then it turns out I was only playing half a game. Like, Freya was like, you need to go to school. She was like, you're only playing the beta version of this game right now. And I was like, oh. And then I realized, you go to
school and you're like, oh shit, those are the gyms.
So I don't just throw my Pokemon out. I can command it to attack things and like auto battle. So I've been wasting my time doing all these battles when really it could have just been doing them for me.
Yeah.
Incredible. Like, that's so good. Auto battles.
Auto battles are really
cool.
The
thing that you never thought you needed until you had it. And now it's like,
I'm just so glad that they've made playing Pokemon more passive, I guess. Like, you don't have to be running and going through loads of grass to catch and grind. You can level up. And I found leveling in this game was so, not easy, but good to do, because it was just like, I didn't feel over-leveled or under-leveled at all playing this game.
I felt underleveled frequently, but that's kind of nice actually to feel that way in a Pokemon game.
Yeah, and you get to it and you're, I shouldn't be here. And then you go and do something else.
I want to touch on that in a bit. But like, I think, I want to talk about that actually real quick, because I think that adding auto battle was one of the best ideas they've ever come up with, because if we're honest with ourselves, turn-based battle systems is how Pokemon needs to be, because it's the way it's always been. It's built on that. Everything is built around that turn-based, but it's an old system. A lot of game franchises have moved away from it. Final Fantasy, for example, doesn't do that anymore. Turn-based is old, and nobody really likes it.
No, but I think it's because Pokemon still have that
competitive element.
Well, yeah, and I feel like other game things are like, they are just immediately compared to Pokemon, even though Pokemon didn't necessarily do it first.
They didn't, no.
But Pokemon is the one that everyone knows it best for.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it's one of those that I think it's just it's an outdated style now, but it still works for Pokemon. But to take away some of that and turn it into more of an active battle system by just sending your Pokemon out to do it for you, it feels more satisfying.
It feels like Pokemon. It feels like how you would do it in the real world. You wouldn't stop and see a Pokemon and be like, I'm going to fight it. And like you have your Pokemon out and it would just...
It was really quick, yeah. It was really satisfying. Like, just being able to send it out and go. Like,
yeah, exactly. And I also like the fact that they put things in, like, it won't fight a shiny Pokemon, for example. And it won't. But, see, I didn't realise that as well, that if... So I was trying to evolve my Houndstone.
Greavard.
Dog. Yeah, the small dog. I was trying to evolve it into the big dog, but you have to evolve it at night and level it up.
Yeah.
And I was doing that, but I was doing it on the Let's Go thing, so it wasn't evolving, so you have to do it in a battle to do it. And I was like, oh, okay, that's interesting, so I guess you don't miss evolving then. But the dolphin evolved, which was weird.
That is pretty good, though.
Yeah. But I like the fact it doesn't fight a shiny, so you wouldn't feel like immediately fucked right off if you killed a shiny.
I was worried about that, and it also doesn't attack the terrestrialized Pokemon that you see out in the world as well. The shiny.
No, you have to, or Gimmighoul as well. That's another one it doesn't.
Does it not? That's
you
good.
Have to walk up to the chest and be like, "Let's go, you little
rock'em sock'em
box."
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't want to get negative at all.
No,
but I want to touch on some things I'm a little upset about.
Yeah, which is only fair. I mean, there's negativity, and then there's having like I don't know, you could have done this better sort of thing.
We touched on the frame rate, I won't go into that, but yeah, that is an issue. You're walking around, sometimes the game lags out, sometimes there's problems. It's not huge. I haven't had
too many of that.
It's not been terrible, but it doesn't perform as good as I hoped it would.
No.
You can tell it's not performing as good as you want it to.
Yeah.
The first thing I was really upset about was that there was no voiceover.
Yeah, that's one thing that Pokemon really do need to start incorporating in their games is voice acting.
So I don't want to go into spoilers or anything, but the Arven, is it Arven, the guy's name? His whole storyline would have been incredible with some voice acting in it. It would have made that whole entire story so much more emotive, so much more like resonant. It would have been so good.
The story in this game was really good.
Oh, it's 10 out of 10.
It's easily the best story.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean. But I feel like it would have been so much better if it had a...
Yeah, it needed some voiceover. Like the very beginning of the game, I was hoping for voiceover. I was like, please tell me there's just a little bit. It doesn't have to be all of it.
Just the cutscenes.
Just the cutscenes.
Yeah, like it didn't need to... But I feel like they just worry because they're going to have... Because it's the biggest media franchise, they won't be able to have it just in English and Japanese. They'd have to have it in every single language.
Yeah.
But the problem with that is you are also the biggest media franchise in the world. Just
do it.
I think Nintendo and Game Freak are just not being skimpy because that's rude, but like I feel like they could put a bit more money into certain aspects for this game. Longer development time.
Yeah.
But the problem with that is that we've said this beforehand as Pokemon fans. Pokemon fans are never 100% happy about anything. Like even if they went right, okay, we're going to give 2 years development for the next Pokemon game, someone would be like, oh, well, I want that. Well, that's too long. Yeah. But then someone will be like, oh, well, okay, then we'll do it. Yeah, well, that's not long enough. It's like, well, you know, no one, Pokemon fans, I feel like everybody wants something else.
Yeah, nobody could come to a consensus. Yeah.
And it's a shame because I feel like that's what they're stuck to, the people who are making these games. They're like, well, we have to do it year by year, have to have a new Pokemon game out at least every year, at least. With the DLC, which I really liked in Sword and Shield, they didn't do that. They weren't like, third game, here's an add-on, current playing, enjoy it. I can only hope they do the same for this game.
I think they probably will.
It worked so well last time, and it works so much better than a bloody, what was it?
A third edition,
a third game.
Or,
because
Ultra, Scarlet, Ultra Violet.
Disgusting. I'm not a fan. I'm just so glad they went with the DLC route, because that means you don't have to buy a third game.
Yeah. But it keeps your original game fresh. And
exactly. And you can keep playing it and it adds more stuff into it. And
a game like this where there's a bigger world as well, it makes more sense just to have more to do in that big world.
It's just, I don't know. I feel Pokemon fans should just like all agree. I know it's impossible, but like...
If we could all just get along.
Why can't we all just have nice. This is why we can't have nice things.
So the aim and throw system I hate in this game.
Yeah.
The Arceus system got it right. You hold it down and a little cursor appears. You can kind of see roughly where your ball's going. You can highlight over a Pokemon and it comes up. It kind of has it in this game, but they've taken away the crosshair and instead it's just random. Earlier I was trying to find Pokemon and I was just trying to lock on to a Pokemon. It just doesn't lock on.
The L button thing where it's supposed to scan over a Pokemon and tell you what level it is barely works.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
I've had to try to get like this, like I say this close, but you know what I mean. You have to be so close to it to do it, and then it's already
by that point they're already attacking you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's one gripe I did have.
I really hate it. Yeah.
Is like when you're fighting a Pokemon, you're like, I'm going to run away from this, and another one immediately is sprinting at you a million miles an hour. You're like, I just want to leave, please. I need to. You should be able to run from a battle, and then give you like a second to sort of get away.
Yeah,
I
think so too. So, okay, the other thing I want to ask you, how do you feel about TM machines in this game?
I haven't really used them. I feel like...
I mean, the concept of them. So before TMs were multiple use, now they're single use again.
I like the fact that they were single use. You
liked the original?
I liked the original format of use it, it's gone.
Okay.
Because it just makes it feel like I have to think about this choice.
Sure.
Arceus, for example, I love the fact that you could change moves around. I know you can do that in this game, apparently. I didn't realise that, but I've not had to change any moves because I've never been like, I need to...
Yeah.
Why would you bother? You know, you're upgrading a move, if you know what I mean. Yeah. You're not chopping and changing. But I like the idea of a TM machine because it means that... I've done it before, when you accidentally delete a move.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, piss. And then you're like...
How do I do this now? Yeah,
exactly. I like TM machines.
I didn't at first. I was very against it the first moment I got a TM and they were like, oh, that's only a one-time use. And I thought, excuse me, like in my game, what are you doing? And then it was as soon as I realised that you could relearn moves that you'd already learned. So if you teach a TM and you override, you can still go back into your Pokemon and relearn that TM move, so you haven't got to use the TM again, which is great. And also the fact that I then realised you had the auto battle feature, which means you can easily grind for materials now.
Yeah.
It's still not great, but it's a lot better. It makes me feel better about everything later, but I just worry about the competitive environment later because I play quite competitive.
Yeah, I've never played a competitive thing, so I found a bottle cap the other day and you were like, whoa! And I was like, I don't know what that means.
So the thing I'm worried about is that I haven't even spent because of this. I've not used any league points. I've not made a single TM because I'm like I might need those later.
Okay.
Because when I want to make a competitive team, I might need all the TMs I can get.
You can get your hold of.
I'm worried that I'm going to want to make more Pokemon. And I'm not going to have the resources, and it's going to take me hours to grind out. And then it's like, this is why I don't blame people for doing like PK Hex, and they hack Pokemon in that are already ready to go because. The amount of time commitment you have to put in now just to get one Pokemon that's ready to go, they just made it a step harder. Yeah,
right.
So I mean, I don't know if it gets easier in the end game to like farm materials. If it does, great, but it feels like it could be iffy. I don't know. I need to let you know when I get to the end of the game.
Yes, well, this is perfect for you because I have no idea. I'm just I'm just bumbling along.
As it stands, I'm kind of sad, but I do like the idea of crafting and like the fact that Pokemon now drop resources and it gives you a reason to use the auto battle more, and like I quite like that. Like,
speaking of crafting, I think that the sandwich making is a fun idea. I just wish that the fucking animation pisses me off every single time.
Bit?
The bit where it goes, here's your sandwich, and it's like a static image of a sandwich.
He used to have a spoon of curry and put it in his mouth, and now it's just like a weird like bite over the sandwich. Yeah, you went 90% of the way there, and you couldn't do the last 10.
Like the Pokemon animations. Like, the animations in these games are really nice. Like, the Pokemon animations look like they fall asleep, they hang out with you. And then you've got that, and I'm so like, why did you choose that?
You were so close,
Could you not have... You've got the sandwiches there, edited in. Like, you've got the textures there. Just eat it. Take a bite of some bread. Also, the aiming of putting stuff down in a sandwich is... ridiculous.
Oh, that was fun though. It was just part of it. Felt like playing Overcooked or something, just like dropping shit in the wrong place and like getting everything wrong, and it's just it made me laugh. It was it's bad, but it was like once you know where to put things, it's not so bad. But we made a sandwich together
as our group name was Hog Riders.
The four of us. The four of us made a sandwich together, and it was a horrible mess.
It was chaotic. I just put
there were strawberries and pickles and
potato fritter down one end.
Oh yeah, potato salad on the other.
On a really long bit of bread.
Disgusting. I'm just going through my notes. I want to see if there's any more things. I just want to get all the bad out of the way so I can talk more about the good.
Yeah,
basically,
I mean, like I said, I feel like it's only fair that we talk about the good and the bad. Not everything can be.
Okay, so the first time that I got truly, truly disappointed by this game, my biggest disappointment was when It was when I went and did the Psychic Gym in Alphanada. And I think that was my fourth gym or third gym.
Oh, wow, that was my last.
See, I did that third, I think, and I lost to it. And then I realised that the gyms don't scale.
No.
It really upset me, actually. It really upset me.
So who was your first... This is interesting. Who was your first gym?
The Bug-type gym.
See, mine was the grass.
Same with Freya.
I went grass, and then I did the fire team...
Base,
and I got fucked up by that. I got
smoked by them, but I liked that. Yeah,
but I only just beat it the second time round. I was like, okay, fine. Only did I realise after I did that one, the Rock Titan and the Fire Base, I was like, oh wait, hang on, I've done this wrong. So I looked up after that, I did find a map.
Okay,
which is tells you sort of where to. Apparently, if you also talk to the nurses,
they tell you
where you should be going. And I was like, okay, this makes sense then. So I went to them. I went to the... no, sorry, I tell a lie. It was after the Poison Base that I found that map. I was like, oh, I've done this in a really fucking weird order. So I went back to the first one, destroyed the Bug Gym, destroyed the Dark Base and everything. I was like, okay, then now I feel like I'm set in what I'm meant to be doing. But I did feel like... I found the bases quite hard, if I'm honest. I like fighting the Rever Room. I only wish that they had a different.
Sure, I said this
boss.
As well when I did the first fight against the fire group. When I saw the car, I was so happy. I was like, "What is this?"
Are they all gonna have a cool thing that they're all in? Maybe one has a motorbike. Maybe one has a tank.
Yeah, they all just had a car, and I was like, "Oh, is that it? Really?" I did the second one, and I think I was with Kaylee, and I was like, "Oh, do they all have cars?" And she looked at me and was like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Oh," I thought one of them was going to be water and had a boat or something.
Yeah,
and I was really excited.
Cool. And I was like, "Oh, right, they're all just cars. They're all steel whatevers." And I was like, "Oh, okay, not very exciting."
So, I don't... This sounds harsh. This is about probably as harsh as I could make it sound. This game gives you false freedom. It makes it... It feels like... Have you ever played any of the Telltale games? The Walking Dead?
I played a little bit of The Walking Dead and...
So,
was it Wolf Among Us? Is that another one?
Wolf Among Us. So, they are great games. Really enjoy them. But... They give you a false sense of freedom.
Yeah.
Everything you do in those games
is linear, but they go
amounts to nothing.
Yeah.
It always ends up the same way, no
Mass
matter
Effect,
what.
I think, is another one which gives you. I've never played a game, a Mass Effect game, but apparently they have 3 endings and that's it. This game I did find it goes, here's a big open world, do what you want, but not really.
Yeah.
Make sure you do it. Whatever you want, but in the right order, and you're
The Walking Dead Telltale game has one ending. Doesn't matter how you play the game, it always ends up at the same ending, and that's what I mean. It's false freedom. It makes you feel like you're making all these choices, but ultimately you're going to end up in the same place by the end. So, and usually when I played The Wolf Among Us, I think that was probably the worst one because everything I did up to one point just resulted in the end argument playing out a different way. The rest of the game is entirely the same, and it was it's not bad, but it's the way that they present it. You're making these choices for yourself when really they're pushing you to make these choices for you.
That's how they've marketed this game. Is that they've gone? It's an open world. Yeah, you didn't know, but the thing is, I was like, oh, okay, so it's no. But then when reviews started coming out, so it feels like it's not really an open world. I love going around on my little motorbike, climbing stuff. But there's not really much point to it because if you come across a Pokemon you can't fight. Can't catch it. You can't. Well, you can, but there's nothing you can do with it.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh right. And then you're like, oh, I'm really not meant to be here. I will go somewhere else. It just makes you go, oh right.
Yeah.
All right. Fine. You could go. It would have been a better game if they did do the scaling.
Yeah.
To it. But that's why they added in Nimona, in certain points, because she does scale.
Okay. She does. I think. Yeah.
But yeah. So if you went to the third gym, no matter what gym you went to, she'll always be there to fight you with her team of what level you should be about.
Okay, that makes sense.
I think, but even then, I feel like the gym should have scaled. But
so, have you seen Pokemon Chronicles? No, not Pokemon Chronicles. Pokemon Origins.
Yes, yeah.
The first episode of that. Okay, this is such a deep cut. All right, he goes to the gym to meet Brock, and Brock says, "How many badges do you have?" 0. Oh, in that case, I'll use these two.
Yeah,
this is exactly what I pictured in my head. I was like, "This game's
this
open
is why
world."
He's
I only found
so weak. Like, at the start of the game,
I only found out a few weeks ago, as we said in the last episode, that I found out it was open world like a few weeks ago. Yeah. So my mind just went, "Oh, cool! We can go to any gym, and it doesn't matter because they'll just do it." And I'm perfectly happy with the wild Pokemon being over leveled. If you get if I wanted to take my own route and go to the ice mountains in the north at the very start of the game, and I have to weave around all these really strong Pokemon, but it meant I got to this gym and I could fight it as my first badge. Awesome, like that's fine by me. I'd be happy with that. I'd be like, that was so cool because it was a good challenge. Like,
I just feel like they definitely should have.
Scaled.
They should have scaled the gyms at least,
especially because in this game as well, for the first time, and I love it, trainer battles aren't compulsory. You talk to them.
Trainer,
I've
more or less.
skipped a lot, and it's nice to think you can do that. But
I've not felt like I've had to though fight them. All the XP I've gained from fighting stuff, I feel like is an appropriate amount. I've not had to fight barely any trainers because they're like, I just feel like you're in my way. Like, why would I bother?
So when I took my party of level 35, 36 Pokemon to the Psychic Gym for my third badge and got destroyed by them because they were all level 45 and up, I was gutted because that's when I realised that I wasn't supposed to be here yet. And I was like, well, if I'm not supposed to be here, why am I allowed to go here?
And it doesn't go... Or even if you went into the gym and they went, okay, your Pokemon should be this level.
Yeah.
You'd go, oh, okay, well, I'll train and I'll come back. But they don't warn you.
No.
I think the gym challenges in this are also... Some of them are really fucking lazy.
The olive rolling that I did in the first gym that I did, I was like, what's the point in this?
Yeah, the one the one you had to find the teacher.
I don't know if
I've
done. Oh, one. Yeah. When you're on the stream, yeah. I thought that was hilarious.
I like some of them, but some of them I was like, this is lazy, man.
I just think they did them more for flavour than for anything else. But some of them were better than others.
The Sunflora one did piss me off because not because it was lazy. That one fucked me off because I was like, all right, then there's only 10 Sunflora hidden in this area, and I have to find.
But there's way more.
But there's loads of them. I was like, Kaylee literally was like, "There's one, there's one, there's one, there's one, there's one." I was like, I was looking like high and low, man. I was like trying to find my first gym.
Yeah.
Do you like? I like the character designs.
I love the character design.
I think they've nailed the
diversity.
Is great. Nemona's amazing. She's Goku.
Okay. I haven't seen enough Dragon Ball to know that, but
Goku just likes a fight. He likes challenging stronger people. So when she's there, like, I want to fight you and I want to see you get stronger, it feels really like Goku Shonen-y, where it's there like, I want to see you, fight me in a gym.
Yeah.
I want you to get better.
I just really liked it. It was more like a big sister vibe rather than like her peer. Like every single rival you've had before has been your age or like similar to you, and they're like starting out, but this person's already a champion. It was like Hop and Leon rolled into one, and I loved that because I was like, this is already a trainer is strong, but she's being nice to you and she's trying to nurture you, and it's like felt really satisfying.
I liked the gym leaders all felt really cool.
Yeah.
How far?
So I've done 6.
You've done 6 of them so far.
I haven't done the 2 in the top area yet. So
Ghost and Ice.
Is that right? Yeah, I don't think so then. Yeah, I haven't done those.
They're the two. They're two of the ones that I like. Not my favourite ones. I really liked the electric gym leader.
I was about to say, I think the electric one was my favourite. I really like Larry, the normal.
Larry is so cool.
Yeah,
I love the fact he's just a guy like, man.
He's just a dude.
Whatever.
I thought that was interesting actually, that all the gym leaders seem to just do it as a part-time thing. Like they have a full-time job, and like they never really explore that in what I've seen so far. It's just there. Like it's not been talked about. They've all got their own careers already, and they just do that as a side thing. And it's
the school is also cool. I've done some of the classes. I like that it feels like this is a world. This is what I do like about this game.
It's
it feels
immersive.
Like, it doesn't feel like they're all carbon copies of the same character. Like even all the trainers, they don't look the same.
No.
They all look different, and they're all different people. And I was like, that's really neat. I like the fact that they went down that angle.
Yeah, I do as well. Yeah, they've done a lot of good in this game. Like,
they've done a lot of progressive stuff in this. Well, like one thing I thought was really cool is that at the start of the game, it's not, are you a boy or are you a girl? Like,
The representation in this game really made me happy, actually.
Yeah.
Freya was watching me and I was just like, I can be a boy and I can have a girl's haircut.
Yeah,
that's so big. Like, not for me because I don't really do that, but just for people in general.
No,
that's
exactly.
Such
it's such
a
a cool
thing,
idea.
right?
Like, I was gonna say we're really progressive people, but like I think it's really cool that in this day and age that Pokemon have gone. You don't have to pick a gender.
Yeah.
You can have like,
who represents you best.
Yeah,
and
what eyes look the most like you. You're not like you're a girl, but there's like Kaylee beforehand really had. She's got quite short hair. She's like none of these hairs look like mine. Like my character, like my character actually looks like mine. Like me, sorry. But the another gripe I have with this game is that you can't change your clothes.
Oh yeah,
you can change your bag and your shoes and socks. Who gives a fuck?
You can put some gloves on. You can put a hat on.
I wish you could change your blazer or your trousers or something.
You have 4 different uniforms and they all kind of suck.
Yeah.
I felt the same.
Which
as well.
I was like, what they're trying to do is they're trying to go, you're a student in school and you're showing off that. I also think it was because of limitations.
What do you think?
I think that they probably went, right, okay, don't let because it'll.
My guess already is that DLC is going to be some kind of a special assignment or something from the school, and you can wear new clothes. Or
maybe it's like a field trip or something.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, they're going to introduce new clothes that way. They're going to have more things. And if
they make this the bag that I've got wearing currently in my game, like in real life, I'm definitely buying it.
Do you know what it's called?
It's like the skeleton. It's like a rib cage bag.
Oh wow, that is cool. I've not seen that before.
Yeah, so they've got like there's a pink one, a white one, and a green one.
Okay.
And I have a lot of skeleton stuff, and I thought as soon as I saw it, I was like, "Well, that's that then. If that's as much as I can do." But it's just really cool that I can make a character look like me. But then I was like, "Oh, but then I can't dress it like I would dress." I guess like that was a shame. But that's one thing that did. I was like, "Oh, I changed my clothes."
At least you can personalize in some way. Yeah.
Yeah, but like I said, I liked the hair choices. The hair's like that's one of the. That's one of my first go-to things in a game is like, right, okay, make the hair look like mine. So it's like, and at least you can see your character in this game. Whereas like if, for example, you're playing Fallout, which I guess you can see yourself, but you're wearing armor or whatever, like more often than not, like
you're covered up. Yeah.
Yeah. Whereas this, you're always seeing your character, and I think that's really cool.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. How about raid battles?
They're really hard. We did a few the other day.
We tried to do some 5 stars, but bear in mind, like I had 6 badges. Freya had less, and like.
But even then, me and Kaylee were like level 60, going up to 70,
and to be
we
fair,
were chipping
I'm nearly level 50 at that point. Yeah,
we're like chipping no damage away from some.
They
of
are
these
hard.
Pokemon. They really are. I think it was Joe from Cerebi.
Yeah,
and he was like, "I'm finally got a team together to fight 5 stars now," and that's someone who obviously plays the game a lot.
Like, and has a lot of contacts.
Exactly.
On. Yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay, so it's going to be.
It's going to be pretty intense.
It didn't feel like Dynamax stuff, whereas I feel like I could go in and fight them and come away probably from them.
I hear there's 6-star raids as well.
There are.
Yeah, so I'm like, if we can do a 5, like, we're going to have level 100 teams all around.
Exactly.
And they're going to have to be
specific Pokemon each to do it.
We're going to have to like build up to those. Yeah. I'm looking forward to that. I like the fact that, okay, 5-star raids in Sword and Shield were hard. On your own. If you had a little group of friends, it was fine. Like, you could get through any raid, no issue. This one sounds like you really have to strategize and you have to work together. And the fact that people can cheer as standard now, so if you're not doing enough in the fight, you can be like, okay, I'll just help everyone else out. One
thing that we did struggle with, though, was the timer. The animations, I felt like, take up
the terastallizing. Yeah.
I found like the most bugs were happening that for me, and like my Pokemon kept like disappearing through the floor.
Yeah.
Like, and in the Larry gym, that's another thing that happened to me is that my Dolphin went under the mat gym field for whatever reason. I was like, okay, goodbye, friend. But no, like I said, I feel like the challenge aspect of this game is really good. I feel like that the competitive in-game stuff is pretty interesting. There's a challenge to it. Makes you go, oh, I'll carry on playing.
I've actually got to try here. Yeah. I think that the raid battles are so much better than Sword and Shield. They feel a lot more hands-on. They feel a little bit more active. You're not waiting for everybody else as often. It feels like you can just like
get in and go. Yeah. This is the thing with Pokemon that I've said a billion times beforehand. Like, they do something in a game, they build upon it. They choose one thing, for example, that did well in a game, and they build upon it, and then in the next game it's even better. It's just a shame that in this one there's a few little things that feels like it's like they're ripping out to do those good things.
Yeah.
Which is interesting. What do you think that they're going to do? Build upon from this one into the next one.
Okay, what features have they started that they're going to carry on with?
And make better and
I think raid battles are going to stay for now.
Yeah,
if they come back in this one, they'll be
anything. Yeah, anything that stayed in the game from at least I don't know, a few.
If
feel like would stay now.
I feel like they've gone to a place now where they can't go back from. Like they did with Legends Arceus.
Has to be an open game
to be open, or at least have a more the maps have to be big. It has to be a 360 degree of vision. You have to be able to move the camera.
Traversal has to be good.
Yeah, it has.
Which is one thing that worries me, because now I feel like they've added in in Arceus they had the bird.
They had different Pokemon that you could do things with.
And in this one they've got obviously your Miraidon.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Coraidon
in the other game. I feel like they have to adapt to that. I liked the idea that you've got different Pokemon doing stuff.
Yeah.
But I don't. It's really difficult because I try to think about what I'd like them to do.
Yeah.
But I think in future, even if it's just a bike or a boat, it doesn't have to be a Pokemon.
It doesn't. But
my brother actually asked me a really interesting question. It was what happens if you were to trade your Miraidon?
Well, you can't at the moment.
Exactly. That's what I mean. But it's what happens later on in the game when you're I want to trade. Obviously, you're going to have to catch a second one. What are you going to do?
That is a good point. I wonder how that would work.
I wonder if you could trade your Miraidon for a Coraidon, for example. Probably
I guess
not.
I'll find out soon. But yeah.
Yeah. But it's one of those things where I was that's interesting. That would be a cool little...
I wonder, actually. That's a very, very good point. I'm going to wait and find out. But yeah, that's... Yeah. I think... Yeah, I don't want them to do this again, but I absolutely love the fact that you meet the legendary at the very beginning of the game and you form a connection with it immediately, and you're building it back up to strength, and as you do, you're unlocking new ways to travel around.
Yeah.
Again, goes with my complaint, though, that you can't just go anywhere at the beginning.
Yeah.
You can't get up to the top, the north part, until you've beaten all the Titans, because you can't rock climb and you can't swim. So
I did.
Did you?
There is a path you can take, which is just a path that goes up.
Is that right?
You have to climb, yeah.
Oh, okay, that's really good. Oh, okay, I take it back then. I thought that I couldn't get there without rock climb, so I had to go and do all the Titans.
There's one space
a path
on the map.
That's brilliant. Okay, right, well, I take it back then. Fair enough.
I guess you can go anywhere or everywhere, but it is easier with the rock climb.
Okay, right.
So... I don't know. There were certain things that they've definitely taken stuff from Breath of the Wild, and stuff from this game, which is Breath of the Wild gets compared to everything at this point because it is just such a top-notch, perfect game for open world,
and it came out of the beginning of the Switch's life cycle,
and it's still great, and it looks amazing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so for Pokemon to not have got as far, but then it comes with all. Yeah, you can go forever about this, about whether it's Pokemon has a lot of information they need to put in their games because of all the Pokemon, and then...
This goes back to Pokemon fans don't like anything at the end of the day, because if they changed a bunch of things, they'll go, well, this isn't Pokemon anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
you can't
they have to go for it's Pokemon route, but also, I don't know, it's difficult because I feel like they do need to change a few things and wiggle things around to make it perfect, but then again, do they want to make a perfect game?
Yeah, well, that's it.
So, because they have to build upon it, and if they can't build upon it anymore, then, what is there to look forward to going through? One day, I think about this quite a lot. One day, do you think they will just turn around and go, this is it. This is the last Pokemon game. This is the last game where we introduce new stuff.
That will have to come sometime, won't it?
We're on 1,000 Pokemon at this point. Realistically, they can't keep going, here's more, here's more, here's more. No. They have to go at some point, which in a way, I'd like to see them just go, here is a Pokemon game. We've added in a few new Pokemon.
We've added in 2 new legendaries and maybe some new forms.
Of Pokemon.
Forms,
exactly. And they go across the Pokemon world. Yeah. Do this. So in this region,
all their resources into the world instead of the Pokemon. Yeah,
which I feel like would be better because then they don't have to. They've got all the models for Pokemon now. I feel. So just adapt to it.
Yeah.
This is the thing that I'd like to see more, but. At the end of the day, it is a business thing.
They probably do really well off of making new Pokemon. So
well, plushies.
It's a lot of promotion.
Toys.
Yeah.
Cards. It's one of those things where they won't ever just stop and go, right, okay. I think as kids love... This goes with it adds a new generation every time it comes out. It's kids going, oh, that's my favourite Pokemon. I said before, everybody in the world has a favourite Pokemon, and every Pokemon is someone's favourite. It's weird to think that someone's favourite Pokemon is like Zeb Striker, for example.
Actually, there was a couple that didn't have a single favourite. Did you see about this poll a few years ago?
No.
They made a poll of everybody's favourite Pokemon, and actually there were a few that didn't.
Oh, really?
Well, I can't remember all of them, but Simisear was one of them.
Ah, fair though.
Yeah. Yeah, they did a poll and people voted in who their favourite Pokemon was, and they could work out who the most popular ones were and like everything.
Oh, yes, I do remember seeing the top ones. I think Gengar was like up there, and Charizard and
Pikachu, Dedenne.
Yeah.
There's a lot of them that but I love it. All right, I want to talk about terrestrializing.
Okay. Terrestrializing.
I still don't really know how. I thought, in the episode 0, I was calling it Tetra something because
you didn't know.
Yeah,
you didn't know what it was.
So I don't know what it was. So I
like terrestrializing.
I like it. I'm still trying to get my head around the complexity of it because it is very complex.
For a gimmick, obviously every Pokemon game now has to have a new gimmick, a new thing that they do.
Yeah.
Like Dynamaxing. And in this terrestrializing, and it's weird to think that before this there wasn't one
before Megas.
Before Megas, it wasn't a thing, and then they went, here's Megas. Now they have to every game go, you have to have a Z move.
They did stuff in the older games, but never as big, and it wasn't a part of the story. So, for example, like they added triple battles and rotation battles in Gen 5.
There's always a new thing, for example. But
but this was, I think, Megas were the first time they made it part of the story, and it became a huge part of the game. And now
with this as well, is now instead of it being a battle thing, it's an addition to your Pokemon.
Yeah.
Rather than a double battle, for example, it's a competitive. You have to think about it, sort of thing.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean. Terrestrializing is cool. I wish that the jewels weren't so big on their heads.
Right, I get that, yeah. Some of them are really
don't
big.
Look great.
Some of them I really struggle to work out what I'm looking at.
Yeah.
The fighting one is the one that I struggle with because it almost looks like a rock on their head with boxing gloves.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, is it a rock or is it a boxing glove or is it steel type because it looks like a diamond?
Psychic also makes me go.
It's a big eye, isn't it?
Oh yeah. There's also, but then there's the icons on the like raid things.
They really make them really vague, don't they?
Yeah. Make it the same as the jewel.
Yeah.
Like
make it easy.
I like the flying one. The flying one looks cool. But I like the thought dynamic of so for like you said earlier, you're gonna have a Jolteon that can fly, so it can't get hit by
earthquake all of a sudden.
But then also, like you said the other day. Although that's cool, you've got the defense, but then can it learn
a move that moves? It won't. Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah,
so you've got to think about what moves can it learn in conjunction with what defenses will it have, and there's so
much to think about. Yeah, I need to see somebody. I need somebody to tell me how to do the Pokemon best. Because the only one I can think of now off the top of my head that I think will no doubt be one of the best is Gyarados, and giving it ground type because it's already 4 times weak to electric, so you change it to ground type, it still has access to earthquake, so it can still do things, and it would, I think that would be a really strong one.
Yeah.
But other than that, I just don't know.
It'd be cool to see what people do with it.
Yeah.
Like, I think it'll be really interesting to see what stuff, and obviously DLC they'll add more Pokemon as well. Yeah. So it'd be really cool to be like, they're going to add, I don't know, Steelix in, for example. Will go well with that, like.
So I was super surprised when I did my first gym battle, which was the bug gym, and the final Pokemon they sent out was a Teddiursa, and I thought, excuse me, this is a bug gym. And then it terrestrialized into a bug type, and I was like, that was genius. That's so cool. This game is awesome. I was so happy because I was like, the amount of things they can do now.
Creatively, it's really cool. Yeah,
grass gym, they send out a Sudowoodo and they turn it into a grass type. That. And I just think that's so clever because it's just like, just little things that really like add to the experience, and it just suddenly opens up all this possibility for people like gym leaders to use different Pokemon and like,
What forms did you like? Because one thing I really like about new Pokemon stuff is
the new forms,
the forms of Pokemon. I really like the fact that each region has a Wooper that would look different. For example, in this game, I like the fact that evolution wise that they would be different.
Okay.
You don't like forms, do you?
I love forms. I love forms, actually.
You pulled the face then just to be like...
I was just thinking to myself, maybe we both tell each other at the same time who our favourites are and who our least favourites are.
What, of...
The forms.
Ever?
Of the Paldean forms.
Oh, there's only 2.
Is there?
Yeah, Tauros and Wooper.
Is that it?
There's no more than that.
Really?
Yeah. Because they've got the Iron Tread and...
etc., etc.
Yeah.
But what about Wiggler? Does that not count?
No, that's
and
a different
Toadscool.
thing. They are both different.
Toadscool's the worst.
Toadscool is the worst, but
it
they
runs
are
on little tentacles and it makes my hackles go up.
30 miles an hour it can run. Imagine driving down the road and you're like, look to your right and there's a fucking mushroom with legs. You're like, excuse me?
Sir?
Just looks at you and runs off.
Ugh.
Yeah, so they aren't forms because they are, I can't remember what they call them now. But they are technically different Pokemon than a Diglett or a...
Okay.
So they look like them.
That's so weird.
But they're not...
So they don't count. So
they're not forms.
What about for Farigiraf? Does that count?
That's an evolution of a Girafarig, yeah.
Okay. So there's only two.
There's only two, which is Wooper.
So Wooper's better. Okay, already, but
yeah,
I'm not that keen on Grodzire. I think it's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was really disappointed to see that they didn't add more forms in because I really liked the ones.
I really expected more. Now you say it though, there isn't. Yeah, no. In my head, I've been considering Wiglet and Toadscool.
Yeah, I can't remember what they called them now. They called them something like fakes or something. So it does say in the Pokédex entry for Wiglet, it tells you that it's like it, but it is actually a completely different Pokemon to like.
Yeah,
a Diglett, like its anatomy is completely different.
Yeah,
which I thought I was like, oh, okay, that's cool because I guess there are some. So by technicality, Pikachu are all the other Pikachu clones. Are they all fakes of a Pikachu, for example?
Yeah,
like you. I don't like Poor Me.
I loved. I didn't like Poor Me at first. I got it and I was like, "This will do for now" because it's an electric type.
Yeah.
When it evolved into Pormo and learned the fighting type move, when it gained the fighting type, I liked it. I was like, "Okay, you can stick around." And now I have Pormot and it's in its final form and it's really strong and like.
Has a floppy fringe.
One of my favourites, I think, from this gen so far.
Oh, really?
It really is. I really like it. It's really good.
I really like Annihilate.
I haven't seen it yet, but I do know about it because I spoiled myself on it by accident. But yeah,
he looks cool. I love that. That's another big thing that I like about Pokemon recently is that they're adding new evolutions to Pokemon that deserve them. However, biggest disappointment I think of this game is the Dunsparce evolution.
It's a joke. They called it the Dunsparce because it's meant to be like
yeah,
right. That's how I pictured it. And the first thing, I was with Katie when I saw it because Larry, the gym leader, has it.
Yeah.
He sent it out and I just looked at it and I said, "This is Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl in a Pokemon hit." I was like, this is what all the people wanted for ages and they're all going to be disappointed by it. Like,
yeah. 100%.
They wasted... Yeah, it's funny. I get it. They were definitely just pissed. They were just doing it to piss people off. Like, it was a meme.
Yeah.
It's a meme, but... Yeah, it's stupid. I don't like it.
Yeah. I was so disappointed. I was like, oh, it's going to turn into a cool, like...
I still
dragon or something.
I still don't really know what I'm looking at. It's just a Dunsparce with an extra segment, right? Okay.
Apparently 25% of them have a third segment.
That's cool, but still.
Pretty lame. Extra bit of chocolate. But it says on the Pokédex entry for Wiglet, though it looks like Diglett, Wiglet is an entirely different species. The resemblance seems to be a conditional result of environmental adaptation.
Interesting.
So this is probably a thing that they're going to carry on now. But like I said, I really like forms, and I like the fact that they went. Obviously, I think the Slowking one is really cool. Not in this game.
Oh, Galarian.
In the Galarian one, I think that looked cool.
That's in a similar camp to I hate it, but I don't want it gone. I like it. I like that it's in here, but I hate it.
I prefer forms to Megas. I didn't like Megas.
I liked Megas a lot, but
this will be another podcast thing. Where we'll talk about gimmicks in the future. But
we'll rank the gimmicks one day. All right, we're going to do that. My starter turned out to be one of my favourite Pokemon of this gen.
Meowscarada?
Meowscarada or Meowscarada, because it's like, I don't know what it is. Like Masquerader? Yeah.
Meowscarada. I think that was similar with Grookey. I think when I saw the final evolution of Grookey, I was like, I think I like that one the most. I think the grass ones they've done better with the grass starters recently than the others.
When I looked at it, I sort of tilted my head to the side and was like, took me a while to get used to it, and then I was like, actually, I love it. It's really good. It's a really good design.
I'm not a huge fan of the crocodile, and I'm not a huge fan of...
I'm not, no.
The
neither of them.
Dark. But Meowscarada, I was like, you know what?
It reminds me of, like, Okay, so when it evolved into Florigato, the first thing I thought was this is Braixen and Sneasel put together.
Yeah.
It has that similar sort of attitude, and I was like, I was almost certain it was going to be a Grass Dark by the end. So getting it, I was like, It's like, I wasn't sure at first because I was like, this kind of feels like Roserade, but actually I really like it. Yeah.
I like I said, I like the Grass one, I think, the most out of all three of them.
I got super excited when I realised what his hidden ability was, and then I got a little bit disappointed after. So its hidden ability is Protean, which is one of the best abilities in the game, or it was. It's Greninja's one. So basically, whenever it uses an attack, it would change type. So you can constantly adapt to its weaknesses by changing types. Cinderace also had it as a hidden ability.
Okay.
It's a really good ability, but they've nerfed it in this gen. They've actually made it worse. So what happens is originally you would say it's a Grass Dark, so you're like, oh no, I need to counteract that because someone just brought in a bug type, which is 4 times effective.
Yeah.
So I use like a fairy move, and suddenly I'm a fairy type instead.
Oh, okay.
So it's like almost like a soft terrestrializing.
Right. Okay.
You're
but
adapting.
obviously they've added terrestrializing into this,
so they've had to nerf it.
Right.
And now basically what happens is when you get sent into battle, the first move you use changes your type, but that's it. So you're stuck on the type you change to, and that's it. So it's still good. Because you can still adapt. You still have a terrestrialized effect, but it's just, it's not constant, so you can't adapt constantly. Yeah. You're just adapting once.
Well, it makes sense, because again, if you have terrestrializing, I guess that does...
It makes terrestrializing less good than...
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, so I get why they did it. So at first I was like, I remember messaging Isaac as well when I saw it, because I was like, this Pokemon is going to be the best Pokemon in this game. Like, I was convinced. I was like, yeah, Meowscarada is the best Pokemon in the game now. Like... now I'm not sure. I think I haven't seen a lot of the new ones, so I'm going to have to see when we get there.
Like I said, I don't play competitively, so I couldn't.
So I did touch on it earlier, but the mouse,
Tandem Mouse,
the Mousehold,
yeah,
has a signature move that I really So this Pokemon, I think
Fang?
It's not Super Fang, but it does have Super Fang. So this is why I got really excited about it, because I looked at it up on my app. So I've got this little app that tells me everything about it. It's got Friendguard for an ability, so this is a perfect ally Pokemon in a double battle. So this is getting a bit technical, but you get to see what my brain does. All right. So it's got Friendguard, which it says here decreases all direct damage done to friendly Pokemon by 0.75 times. Yeah. So it reduces damage to your ally Pokemon.
Yeah.
It's got a really good speed stat, and it's got average other stats, so it's not bad. But it has Follow Me, which is a move which directs all attacks to Mousehold. Then it has the Sylvanian has this move called Tidy Up, which is its signature move. Okay, so Tidy Up, the user tidies up and removes the effects of spikes, stealth rock, sticky web,
really cool.
toxic spice, and substitute, and then also raises its attack and speed.
That's good.
Broken. It's Dragon Dance with like a clearing effect.
Okay, that is cool.
So it does all that. It also gets Super Fang, Encore, Play Rough, Population Bomb. This is the other signature move it has. Okay. The user's fellows gather in droves to perform a combo attack that hits the target 1 to 10 times in a row.
Oh my god.
Yeah. How cool is that?
That is cool.
I love Mousehold. It's great. It's going to be a really good ally.
I saw Mousehold and I was like, I like you. Because it just screamed at me. I was like,
just a little bit cute,
little friend. That you're gonna.
It's just a little cute little mouse, and like I like the fact that it's just got so much potential as well as being quite funny to look at, which is what I thought with both Mimikyu and Ice-Q as well. Like they're cute and like weird, but they have so much potential. Like they're not useless Pokemon, basically.
No.
The other one I'm really liking at the moment, but I'm not sure if I think it's good enough to try out, is Tatsugiri.
Yeah.
It's a sushi Pokemon, which I think is really cute.
Yeah.
But it feels like you need the Dodonzo on your party to make use of it properly. Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't really enjoyed seeing them all that much.
I quite like them. They're really cute little fish.
They are cute. One Pokemon I dislike a lot is Orthworm.
Orthworm? Yeah, I didn't like that either.
I looked at it and I was there like, I was fighting the Titan of it. I was like,
what are you? Yeah.
What the fuck's going on? Then it had arms. I was like, grow up. If you're going to be an Earthworm, just be an Earthworm. You shouldn't have arms, man. Grow. And then I use an Earth move on it, a ground move on it, and it was like, healed it. I was like, shut the fuck up.
Oh, man. Who was it that I found? Oh, it was my Wooper that I loved actually because it had water absorb, and it was
He's really good.
It's a ground type that's weak to water normally that isn't weak anymore, and I was like, that's really good.
Yeah.
Like that really changes up a lot of like its weaknesses. Yeah.
Maybe like I don't know, trustalizing on that would be a good idea. Like electric.
That's
maybe?
the thing. I need to learn
You
it.
need to do the basic maths.
I need someone to tell me who to use, and then I can be like, oh, I get it now, and then I can like, think from there. But yeah, I think I've said most of what
I was going to say, I think we've summed up
most of it. How we feel.
Yeah.
Hopefully we didn't go into too much spoiler territory. I know we talked about some new Pokemon, but we haven't talked about story in any way.
No, and we will eventually.
Oh, definitely. When I finish the story, I'm going to want to talk about it. I know I
finished the main story.
But you're in the post-game?
I'm in the post-game. I feel like there's going to be a little bit more story, but not anything groundbreaking.
Okay.
Obviously, we'll wait until, I'm sure
the time will come.
But we'll give it a few weeks before we talk about the story stuff fully. But
we'll definitely make it clear that it's a spoiler episode, like in the title and everything.
Yeah.
We'll make everything, so you know to avoid it.
So out of 10,
okay,
what would you rate this game out of 10? I would give it...
I've not thought about it yet, so that's quite interesting. I need to think about that, but yeah.
I would give it like an 8.
Where I'm at the moment, 8. Yeah,
probably. I think
I thought 9, but probably 8. But I haven't seen a lot of the end game yet, so it's hard to say. Where I am at the moment, I'm really enjoying it. Though.
I've enjoyed playing it. Like I've not been like, oh, this is boring. Like I didn't finish Let's Go, and I didn't finish.
Really?
No, I didn't finish because I never played Kanto a million times. Art style wise, it's a great game, but I just didn't finish it because I've played Kanto enough.
Yeah,
and I didn't finish Brilliant Diamond. Really, because I was like,
I did, but reluctantly. I never did the last bits, the post-game bits. I never bothered.
And Arceus I did finish, but
I did as well. I did Arceus like 2 weeks ago. Yeah,
I think I've still got the last boss. I'm in the middle of fighting, but I probably won't go back to it to play it now.
Nah. Where does this rank? Does it rank anywhere in your top 3?
Oh yeah.
You think?
Yeah. Oh, I feel like it's like probably my 3rd or 2nd.
Okay, that's good.
My first is Heart Gold.
Yeah.
Because it's the Pokemon game for me.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like if I ever want to play a Pokemon game, I'm like, I'm going to play Heart Gold again.
Yeah.
As grindy as it is, even if sometimes you get that, I was like, I want to play Pokemon, and you're like, play it for like an afternoon, and that's the one I will go to. I don't know what my 2nd or 3rd, but this is definitely like...
This is a future episode, I think. We should come in and we should tell each other who are our top 10 Pokemon games,
we should do
or
a
5.
9x9 Pokemon thing, which is like your top 9...
Yeah, I like that.
Things we should do a 9x9 episode of different bits and pieces. But,
okay.
But if we're gonna, next episode, or is there anything you wanna go into before?
I want to play a little game.
You want to play a little... Oh yeah, you do want to play a little game.
Okay. So anyone that ever listened to Payday knows that we used to like playing little games at the end of the podcast. So we're coming to the end. I want to play a classic.
Okay.
Pokemon 20 questions.
Okay.
You have 20 questions. I'll write down the questions that you ask, and I'll help you keep track of what questions and everything. But you got to try and guess the Pokemon I'm thinking of in my head.
Okay.
It's not as hard as you think, I promise.
No. I feel like I'm quite good at this.
You'll have fun.
I shouldn't have said that before.
There's some strategy to it. You'll work out later. But yeah, so you got 20 questions to guess 20... this Pokemon.
Okay.
There's over 1,000 of them now. This is quite a big...
Okay. Is it from the... Are you only allowed to answer yes or no?
Yeah, yes or no questions only.
Okay. Is it from Gens 1 to 4?
Yes.
Okay.
This is a very good strategy. This is exactly what we used to do. We'd spend the first few questions just trying to work out what gen it's in, like basically, and then, yeah.
Is it in Gen 2?
No.
Okay.
Not Gen 2. I'm writing down all your answers basically in the shortest form I can.
Is it in Gen... You're not going to go 1. Gen 4?
No.
Gen 3?
Yes.
Okay.
It's a Gen 3 Pokemon.
Gen 3 Pokemon, okay.
That's 4 questions down.
Okay.
You got loads to go.
Yeah.
It then becomes a challenge of how quickly
you can whittle down. Like, what's the question you can ask?
I think Matt and Anna from Payday did it in 9.
In 9?
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is huge. But that's 2 people working together. Like,
Oh, see, now you've got me in a competitive space now. I'm now like, can I get this in 5 more questions?
It's hard.
Does it stand on all 4s?
No.
Okay.
Doesn't stand on all 4s.
It doesn't stand on all 4s. Does it stand on 2 legs?
Yes.
Okay. Can I look at a Pokedex?
Yes.
Right, okay.
You're allowed to use references.
That's fine. Your brain goes, what, Gen 3?
It'll be very easy with this. If we find it very quickly now, then we'll probably start banning it. But
that's fine. That's allowed. That's cool. Right, okay. So it stands on 2 legs.
This is the first episode, so you're allowed to work
there's
it
a
out.
lot of them that stand on 2 legs.
There's some growing pains here.
Ooh.
A Gen 3 on 2 legs.
Gen 3 on 2 legs.
That's as far as you know so
Does
far.
it have wings?
No.
Okay. So it doesn't have wings.
It does not have wings.
Is it a grass type?
No.
Okay. Is it green?
No.
Oh, fuck. I shouldn't have asked that.
It's not Kecleon.
That's the one I thought it was. That's what I was looking at. Okay. It's good to do the basic maths here now. Just like scrolling through the Gen 3. It's not going to be a starter. I'm not going to ask that. That doesn't count. I didn't look at him. I didn't even look at him when I did it. So it's not green. So it's not going to be like Curlier.
It's not green. It's not grass type. It doesn't have wings. It stands on 2 legs. And it's Gen 3.
Okay. Does it have, like, that's not really a question I can ask, because that could be interpreted in different ways. Does it have a mouth?
Yes.
Is it a Loudred?
No.
Piss. So I'm going to try and
11 questions in. You've still got loads left.
No. I'm alleviating things. I can do it. I'm so brave. Does it float, even if it doesn't have wings?
No.
It does stand on the 2 legs.
It stands. Doesn't float.
Is it a legendary?
No.
Okay. Is it a dragon?
No. Not dragon.
Is it a ghost?
No.
Okay.
It's not Dusclops.
Okay. Willing shit down. Does it have a rival Pokemon that it fights often?
No.
It's not a Zangoose then.
No rival.
No rival.
You're on question 17.
Oh, I bet I know who it fucking is. Is it Spinder?
No.
Ah, I know you like Spinder. I feel like
I do like Spinder. I like that if you get a shiny Spinder, it's basically unique.
Yeah, that is cool. Like, there's only going to be one of them.
Most likely.
So it doesn't have a rival.
No. It's not a dragon or a ghost or a legendary. It doesn't float. It's not a Loudred. It's not green. It's not grass.
Is it a competitive Pokemon?
No.
It doesn't have wings. Not grass. You're not going to try and trick me here with a plus or minus situation.
No.
It's not a starter, is it? Did I ask that?
You didn't. Do you want to make that
is
one?
Is it a starter?
Okay, no.
Okay.
You've got 1 question left.
Fuck. Not grass.
It's okay. We'll get better at this.
Wheel? It's me. You're gonna guess you would guess mine instantly. I'm gonna go for a hard guess of one that I thought it was gonna be right. And
I'll tell you what. I'll let you ask 1 more question, then you can have a free guess.
Okay, fine.
Yeah. After you've asked 20 questions, you have to guess. Let's call it that.
Okay. I think I can know it. I don't. I'm just gonna go. Is it a water type?
No.
Okay. Is it a nose pass?
It's not a nose pass.
Oh, fuck. All right.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
The Pokemon I was thinking of today was Grumpig.
Do you know what? I looked at Grumpig as well. I was like, shit.
It's a very hard Pokemon to guess.
Yeah, that's good. Okay, that's fine.
It was one of those. I was like, it's in the new game though, so maybe And
I caught the shiny one of.
Yeah. It's actually also part of my.
I was like, he's not going to go for a Grumpig. I caught one of them. No, I enjoyed that. I like that a lot.
Oh, thanks, buddy. It's good.
It
We'll
is
do it
good.
next time as well. We'll work on it.
We'll swap every time.
Okay. Right, you could do you do me next time. Yeah.
Oh. Promises.
So yeah, I think that's the episode, huh?
Yeah, I'm glad that you can finally talk about Scarlet and Violet openly.
It feels good.
It's not a secret anymore to you, which is nice.
So I'm hoping for the next episode to be out in about 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I kind of want to make this a weekly thing eventually, but I'm busy next week.
Yeah,
I'm so busy.
We're going to be recording. We will probably record like every week,
if we can.
If we can, and then we're hoping to release every 2 weeks. We don't have a set day yet, but
we'll get there.
If you've not noticed, I'm the one that does all of the social stuff, so it'll be posted everywhere as much as I possibly humanly can. I also put some polls up, so feel free to get involved in anything that I do. It makes me feel like a better person.
Cool. So our next episode, we're going to be talking about our favourite spin-off games and also our dream spin-off games.
Yeah, I'll get thinking about this properly.
Yeah, including crossovers, right? So can we talk about crossover games, or do you want to just leave
crossover? Yeah, no, because that would be a spin-off.
Yeah,
no. So we'll talk about like maybe we should we rank our spin-offs then?
I think
top 5 spin-offs would be cool,
and then 5 ones we'd want.
Yeah,
if we can think of that many.
Yeah, that's cool.
Up to 5, and then we'll keep it nice and streamlined. Okay.
Yeah,
and everyone listening, let us know yours. I want to know your favourite crossover game, and then also a crossover game that you'd like to see.
Yeah. Let us know.
Or a spin-off that you'd like to see.
Yeah. Because, I don't know, we are a very small demographic of 2 people.
Yeah.
But, yeah, let us know. And we will discuss that next week. I don't know why I said that like a idiot, but...
If you've made it this far, though, you are definitely a Poke fan.
Yeah.
I'd say. And if you haven't, then you are the biggest super nerd I've ever met.
Because you've gone through this whole episode.
Yep.
Withstood us talking gump for
a long time.
Well,
thank you so much for listening, guys. I hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah, and come back next week.
We'll catch you later.
Bye.
Bye.